नमस्ते दोस्तों, वीडियो 6 में हमने कार्मिक रेट्रीब्यूशन के बारे में डिस्कस किया था. Most people would assume me crazy and mad for saying all that stuff, but am I really? Stanley Ellen Meyer, a man who created a car that could potentially run on water. Meyer ने इससे पहले अपनी ड्यून बगी क्रॉस कंट्री पर ट्राई किया था. His buggy could run on 20 gallons of water straight from the tap at his home. इस इन्वेंशन को फिजिसिस्ट्स ने इम्पॉसिबल डिक्लेयर किया था. His invention claimed to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, जहाँ hydrogen gas was burned to generate energy and oxygen was discharged through the exhaust, जो कोई भी harmful emissions produce नहीं करता था. स्टैनली ने कई बार बताया था that oil representatives ने उन्हें बहुत बार threaten करने का ट्राई किया था and also offered millions to destroy all traces of his work. He then got 2 Belgian investors to fund his invention. Stanley with his brother and the 2 Belgian investors was celebrating while drinking cranberry juice. Stanley took a sip from the juice and instantly grabbed his throat, went outside and died. The crazy part is that while he was dying, he said, "They poisoned me." Watch this clip by Joe Rogan.
There was a video about a guy who created a car to run on water. And then this car that ran on water, it apparently had a viable engine and it was really working. And then he had a heart attack. And as he was dying, he was saying, "They killed me. They killed me." And then he died. Nobody heard from the water engine again. Meyer said that his invention could do what physicists say is impossible, turn water into hydrogen fuel efficiently enough to drive his dune buggy cross country on 20 gallons straight from the tap. Wow. He took a sip of cranberry juice, then he grabbed his neck, bolted out the door, dropped to his knees and vomited violently. I ran outside and asked him what's wrong. His brother Stephen Meyer recalled, he said, "They poisoned me." That was his dying declaration.
Here's the catch. Today's world is a lot on drugs and medicines, antidepressants, painkiller, ADHD medication, birth control, and a lot more is being used by millions of people on earth on a daily basis. And here's the thing about these drugs. जब भी कोई इसे कंज्यूम करता है, only 10% of the drug is actually utilized and the rest is peed out. And this gets flushed, जो then जाकर water treatment facilities तक पहुंचता है. The problem is that the water treatment facilities don't have the capability to filter out the chemicals that the water contains. Most birth control pills contain something called ethanol estradiol, which is a type of estrogen. So this same water that contains estrogen and other harmful chemicals such as chlorine and lead gets sent to our taps. And I don't know about India, but surely is a major problem in the US, UK and Canada. The most scary part about this is that आप इसे avoid भी नहीं कर सकते by drinking bottled water, because that's again the same water. The horrifying thing about estrogen is that even you consume a small amount of it, it can still mess you up. And this all turns men feminine.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Have a population of women on birth control and they urinate, and that's the same water that ultimately ends up in the drinking water. The current water, infrastructure doesn't do a good job of filtering everything out. And so there's trace levels of atrazine across the board, which has been shown to spike estrogen and all this stuff. And so what Alex is screaming about is in London, they ran studies on these actual frogs, which has been exposed to extremely high levels of atrazine, and the frogs their mating patterns had changed. They turned gay. And so that makes you wonder, right? As humans who are drinking tap water on a day in, day out basis, what kind of impact does this have on our own endocrine systems? And one would think that it's extremely estrogenic and influences male behavior in a way that probably isn't healthy.
तो देखिए, जो कॉस्मेटिक इंडस्ट्री है वो ऑलमोस्ट 8,000 से 10,000 सालों से चलती आ रही है. And today it is worth $579 billion. लेकिन एंशिएंट टाइम में जो कॉस्मेटिक सोर्सेज थे वो सारे नेचुरल थे, which contain no chemicals. But today cosmetic brands serve us their products filled with harmful chemicals. But before diving into it, watch this clip.
One of the biggest cosmetic brands, designer cosmetic brands in the world. Their ex-formulator had contacted us. He said, quote unquote, "The cosmetic industry is destroying women's cells." cells, cells. And I said to him, "Why don't you say something?" He said, "I can't."
this cosmetics issue as even bigger than the tobacco industry because we're talking about thousands of different chemicals.
The same chemicals being dumped and running through the rivers that are toxic are running through our blood.
So the first and the most important ingredient of cosmetics comes from fetuses. These are the cells of the kids which faced abortion either naturally or unnaturally. And ये सिर्फ cosmetics में ही नहीं, multiple food and soft drink brands use fetus cells to add flavor to their products. Here is a list of the companies just to name a few. The second source is what we call tallow. Tallow is basically used to make cream for applying on face and lips. Well, ये tallow आता है from a cow's kidney. Yes, well, kidney के आसपास के fat को extract किया जाता है, collect किया जाता है, and then process किया जाता है. And the way they are kept in those farms is absolutely heartbreaking. Think about it. Innocent animals are being killed for us to just apply some creams on our face. So thank you for watching the video. यही था आज के इस वीडियो के लिए. अगर वीडियो पसंद आई तो लाइक कर दीजिएगा and do subscribe the channel. And we'll meet in the next video so that you remember that no matter how hard you try, you can't escape them.